Hey folks, welcome back to the Hemsworth Haven homestead. As you can see, I am in my kitchen. Right now I'm just shredding up some of the leftover pork roast I had cooked earlier in the week. I made some really good pulled pork with it, so I'm gonna do a little bit more and I'm gonna put it in the canner. So this is just the barbecue sauce that I had made earlier today to get it all mixed up. And then I also have some pea soup in the crock pot behind me, and I made that earlier today with the drippings from the pork roast. So I'm pretty excited to get this stuff in the canner, and I will see you back here soon. Okay, so I just put the sauce in with the shredded meat. So what I'm gonna do now is pretty much just get it all mixed up and saucy, and then I'm gonna start putting it in cans and then add just a little bit of water so that it reaches the exact level that I need it to be for the canner. I can show you guys that in a minute. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so I've mixed up all of the what now is going to be pulled pork. So I'm just going to start putting this into the cans, and then we'll get them in the canner, and they can just hang out in there until I can put the pea soup in the jars. So in the sauce actually is just rough measurements of, what did I put? I put ketchup, onions, garlic, Worcestershire sauce. There is also some molasses, some brown sugar, a little salt and pepper, and a little Frank's Red Hot. So I kind of mixed that all up, got it going on the stove, did a little boil on it, let it cool down, and then I mixed it in with the meat. So now I'm just going to get these in the cans, and I'll see you back. Okay, so now as you can see, I have the pulled pork in both of these 1 liter jars. I did add a little bit of extra water in here just so that they don't dry out in the canner, and I did make sure to leave the 1 inch of space here, as that is recommended. So I'm now gonna get these in the canner, and I'm gonna start on the soup. So just move those aside actually, and I'm gonna start putting the soup in the cans. Oh, I'm doing this a little bit backwards. So good. Spilling everywhere. This is going to be good. The recipe that I was using to make this soup called for 8 cups of liquid. They said water, but I had so many pork drippings from this roast that I just couldn't pass it up. So when I did my measuring, I had about 2.5 cups, could be a little bit closer to 3 cups of liquid just from the pork juices themselves. So I just added the difference of water, and that's the liquid that I used for the base of this. The pea mixture was about 2.25 cups, and then I let that boil in the crock pot on high for a few hours, and then I added 2 small potatoes, a medium-sized carrot, and probably just like a small onion. Other than that, it was just salt and pepper, and all of the flavor comes from the pork drippings, and it is delicious. So as you can see, I am now deboning some chicken legs. We discovered that we had some free space in the canner, and so we decided to utilize the time that we're going to be using the canner and fill it to its full potential. So we're deboning some chicken legs, and I've got the skins and stuff that I don't particularly want in the meat on the side. I've got the good meat over here in a container, but check this out, you guys. There is so much meat left on these bones. We have a baggie full of bones over here, and there's just so much meat and so much potential. Don't throw this away. Keep it. Freeze it. My plan for tomorrow, if I have time, if not, it'll be later in the week. These are going in the crock pot. I'm going to season them up. I'm going to throw some herbs, some garlic, some onions in there, and I am going to make some delicious, delicious broth. So don't throw these away if ever you're deboning any chicken. Delicious broth. So I'm going to start by filling this jar about a third of the way full, and then I'm going to start to add some spices and some herbs just so that this tastes really good when we open it in the future. Okay, so what I'm adding to the chicken right now is going to be some granulated garlic, some onion powder. I've got some Italian seasoning, some peppercorns, and some dried chilies from some store-bought chilies we bought over the winter that we dried. So I'm just gonna get all this in here, no set measurements, and then I'm just gonna keep layering the meat and the spices together. So here you can see that I have the meat in the jar. It's another 1 liter jar, and it is raw, so everything's going to cook for 90 minutes. I've layered the seasoning in here a couple different times. You can see there is an actual little chili in here. I do want my kids to eat this, so I'm not gonna make it too spicy. It is going to be really tasty though. So we have the 5 1 liter jars. We're gonna get these into the canner, and all the leftovers I'm going to have cooked and ready for my husband's lunch tomorrow. So now we're going to turn the stove on, and we're going to wait for this to steam for 10 minutes. We'll put the weights on, and then it'll steam and cook for another 90 minutes. Okay, so what was the term you said to me just a minute?
Adapt and overcome.
Adapt and overcome. That is what we're doing here tonight. So here is the said chicken we were going to can. Let me see if I can do this here. You know, the other pulled pork and soup. Canning is not gonna happen tonight, but that's okay. I'm going to refrigerate everything, and as you can see, we're cooking the chicken, and I'll have a new one tomorrow. A canner, a new can. I'm gonna go buy a new one because that's my plan. If that doesn't work, this video is gonna get real interesting. Stay tuned. Okay, so it has been said to me from this guy here that I need to tell you why we need to buy a new canner. Step 1 when you're canning something is to make sure before you start you have every single piece needed to can. We brought out the canner, cleaned it all up, everything looked great, and gotta say, folks, missing a gasket. So
you blew a gasket?
We blew a gasket. So look, we're cooking, and it's
way past
did you see what time it is? Way past my bedtime. I would have liked to have been sleeping for at very least an hour by now. Not gonna happen. We're cooking meat. We're gonna refrigerate some meat. Try again tomorrow. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so I have got a new canning pot. I'll show you that in just a second. I have to say it was really not easy to get today. I guess as you guys all know, everything's closed. So I was pretty lucky to be able to go to my local Canadian Tire. I had phoned my order in this morning and did the curbside pickup. So I have canning pot exactly the same as the one I previously had in blue gasket. So here we go, take 2. Let's hope this goes good. So this is the new, as you can see, very squeaky clean canning pot. So this is going to be the beautiful piece of machinery that we use this evening to get everything done. Hey guys, so right now what I'm doing is I'm taking the bone broth that we made today and I'm putting it in these canning jars. I'm going to fill up 2 of them because that's the space I have left in the canner, and I'm going to cook everything for about 90 minutes. We are using the bones in here because I didn't get it cooking for as long as I would have liked to today. So we're going to leave the bones in there and hopefully the flavor just gets better in the canner. Okay, so now we have all of the cans in the canner. There's 7 of them in there. As you can see, gasket well in place. We're good to go. I have my weight. We're gonna turn the stove on. We're gonna let this go and get hot and steam for 10 minutes. I'm going to put the weight on. It's 10-pound weight based on altitude of where we live to sea level. Once the weight goes on, we're gonna let this stuff cook for about 90 minutes, and then when that's done, we'll start back up.